Hello, and welcome to our first episode of Cozy Talks. If you haven't already, go ahead and give us a thumbs up and subscribe. We really appreciate it. My name is Ahias,
And I'm Joe.
and today we are joined with Mozzie. But we are two blue collar workers who got a love for the fight game, and we're here today to give you our best predictions, breakdowns, and most importantly, our sport bets.
With that being said, remember, this is not gambling advice. If you decide to tail us, make sure you tag us on any of our socials. They're all at Cozy Boys MMA. We'll show you some love, repost it, and let's ride.
Yes, sir. In this week's fight card, we got Roman Dolidze versus Anthony Fluffy Hernandez. And as always, let's get started with the early prelims.
Opening up the prelims, we got a short notice fight. We got Cody Brundage versus Eric McConico. Last we saw Brundage fight was he had another weird fight. He's in his last five. He's 2-1, 1-1. He had a majority decision loss to Mansour Abdul Malik. This is a potential banger here, Z. I see this fight. Not seeing the distance. I see it being a banger. I see these two guys scrapping. I'm hoping it's not a bar fight, just because it is a short notice fight. I'm hoping it's clean. I'm hoping.
See, I feel like it might be, man. I feel like it might be a little bit of a gritty fight,
Yeah,
especially with both these guys coming off short notice. I didn't even know it was a short notice fight
yeah. Literally just
until
made not too long ago, like 2 days ago.
yeah, I didn't know there's a short notice fight. But yeah, they are fighting at light heavyweight. Both these guys. I mean, they probably got about what two, maybe 1.5 week of training camp.
Yeah,
I see this fight being real gritty, and like you said, Cody Brundage. He's been real weird. I'll be completely honest, bro. I don't like Cody Brundage.
yeah, it's
I don't
fair.
think he's done. I don't think he's done anything to make me impressed. I mean, but at the end of the day, who the fuck am I? Um, Maybe we should cut that part out. I forgot. I can't cuss.
Why not? You can
Uh,
guess.
oh,
Yeah.
we'll,
I think
we'll leave that
I
in.
think there's a timer. I don't remember the rules. I think it's like in the first like 30 seconds you can't cuss,
Oh, for
and,
sure.
and then
We'll
after
we'll
that it's
leave
kind of
that in.
whatever. Yeah, you're good. You're good.
But I mean, back on track. I don't. Maybe this fight ends. Before the judges can get the scorecards. But I think this fight is going to go to decision, and I'm putting my money on Meconico.
Yeah. I believe this fight. If it doesn't see the cards, it's gonna be by a violent KO. Both these guys, they both got wrestling backgrounds. So I see this playing out on the feet most of the fight. Last we saw Meconico was a loss in his debut to Nursultan Ruzaboyev in Seattle. That was back in February. My pick, however, is Cody Brundage. I'm playing it
Fair.
safe.
That's
I'm
fair.
playing on the vet, playing on the guy who's been in the UFC longer. So, all right. So there's that. Let's move on to the next fight of the night.
Gabriela Fernandez versus oh fuck, dude. I don't even Julija
I think it's just Yulia.
Stoli and Co.
Yeah,
We'll leave it
I
as
don't know.
that.
We'll just say that. Call her Julia.
We'll call her, yeah, we'll call her Julie.
Yep.
Gabby versus Julie. In this fight, I am taking Gabby. Um I think Gabby is she's a way better fighter. Um she's coming off of a big win
Hmm.
from against Kong Wang. She was a huge underdog in that fight, and she ended up submitting Kong Wang.
In her
Um,
hometown in China,
in her home,
her
yep,
home
in her
country.
hometown. And another thing as well is, I believe Gabby is the fresher fighter in terms of her most recent win was almost 8 months ago,
Hmm.
and Julie's recent fight was a year and a half ago.
Yeah.
And as of recent, we have seen a lot of fighters who come off a long layoff, over a year layoff, and they just can't. They either get finished, or they just can't piece it back together.
Yeah.
And that's just based off of the fights that I've seen of fighters coming off of that long layoff.
Yeah.
So, I I see Gabby dominating on the ground. I see her dominating the ground and getting a submission win here.
Yeah, yeah, I kind of see it playing out the same way. Fernandez, like you said, she had a big win over Kong Wang via armbar. Thing about Soliarenko though, she is a sub artist. She has 10 wins by sub. She recently had a sub against Molly McCann, who doesn't have the greatest grappling defense. Um, she was also KO'd by Chelsea Chandler, who we've seen Chelsea Chandler in the UFC. She's a very durable fighter. Hard to put away. Is always in the dogfight. Um, she also lost to Luana Carolina. Um, so yeah, I kind of have this fight playing out the same way. I didn't say any sort of method of victory, but I did say Fernandez inside distance.
If anything, too, money line is not really like nice looking number. It's Fernandez is minus 500. If anything, I see Fernandez possibly getting the sub, but Fernandez by decision is where's it at? 250.
Yeah, right now on Gabby Fernandez, it opened at 440, and it's growing even wider. It's growing to 480 right now, just on a money line. So
What's crazy though is Fernandez by KO, TKO is minus 150.
yeah,
So
yeah,
that's looking like that might be
I think we
what
agree on it.
happens, but
I think we agree on the pick here.
either way, I think Gabriela Fernandez will get a win inside the distance or within or at the distance. I think Fernandez is
100%.
winning this fight.
Yep. All right, third fight of the night. We got Uros Medic versus Gilbert Urbina. This is a welterweight bout.
Kind of excited for this one.
Yeah, this will be an interesting fight. We got a striker versus wrestler kind of matchup here. Gilbert Urbina coming off of a year and a half layoff. His last fight was a KO loss to Charles Radke. And we got Uros Medic, whose last fight was also a KO loss to Soriano. So we have two guys who are trying to bounce back in the win column. The odds again on this fight are pretty wide. As for the majority of this card, a lot of the favorites are pretty juiced. I the way I see this fight playing out is we got the kind of kickboxer style versus the wrestler. The line's pretty almost even on a over 1.5. So I think my pick's gonna be over 1.5 rounds in this fight. If I had to play a money line, I don't think I feel comfortable taking Uros Medic right now at minus 430. I think right now at those odds, I think it would have to be dog or pass. But if I were to play any of the other props, it would have to be over 1.5 for me at plus 120.
Yep. Another thing to look out for is this fight not starting around 3. I mean, it isn't the prettiest number, but it is sitting at minus 300. But for some of you degenerates, Ubina is currently sitting at plus 1100 for the knockout. And the thing about this fight is, I think one of these dudes is gonna get finished, no matter what. I don't see this fight going the distance at all. I believe one of these dudes are gonna get finished. And if you want something juicy, Urbina by KO plus 1100.
I like it. I like it a lot. All right, on to the next fight of the night.
Elijah Smith, bro, I'm not even gonna say his first name. Elijah Smith versus, we'll just say Kazama.
Yeah, Toshiomi Kazama.
Oh, I couldn't even see it. Toshiomi Kazama.
Oh yeah,
I'm going with Kazama here, bro.
really?
I'm going with Kazama.
Taking a dog shot.
Yep, I'm going with Kazama.
Okay.
I don't have anything to back me. I'm going to be completely honest here. I think Kazama is going to dog Elijah Smith, and I think Kazama by decision. If anything, take Kazama money line. He is sitting at plus 370 as the underdog, and I think this is a gritty fight. I think this is going to be a really gritty fight. Um, Kazama's coming off of a win almost a year ago. He won by triangle choke. Um, Before that, he lost to Garrett Armfield, and I mean that loss ages well. And before that, he lost to Rinya Nakamura, and I mean Rinya Nakamura is a dog.
Yeah.
So I just think with Kazama, with the level of competition he's fought, I think he's going to be coming into this fight with a little bit of a chip on his shoulder.
Hmm.
He's going to want to redeem those two losses. And I think beating a huge prospect like Elijah Smith,
Yeah.
I think that'll be really good for Kazama. And I think the money line at plus 370 is too nice to
Oh
pass.
man.
Because, I mean, minus 515 right now, Elijah Smith, the heavy favorite. Nah, put Kazama
Nah.
on my parlay.
Yeah. Elijah Smith, he's a Dana White Contender Series alum. He had one fight on there, and then he got his debut. He won in his debut versus Vince Morales via unanimous decision. I look at Elijah Smith. He's a very, very tactical, technical, measured fighter. He has a lot of pop for a guy that's only 22 years old. He's very young. He's still new to the game. Kazama's a little older. I think Kazama's like 28.
Yep, he's 28 years old.
Yep. And Kazama, he won in his debut as well versus Gregoriao via triangle choke last year. I think that was the last time we fought. And three of the last four losses for Kazama have been via knockout. He does fight a little more reckless. So with my pick, I'm taking the tactician here, taking Smith via KO. The odds for his money line are minus 800. So I would say if you were to bet this, take a finish or fight to not go the distance. That's what I believe is the best bet in this fight here.
Nah, Kazama's going to outdog Smith.
Moving on. All right.
Fuck Elijah Smith.
Yeah. We got Jocelyn Edwards versus Priscilla Cachoeira. This has potential to be another good fight, another banger in women's MMA. Edwards, she's been a very active fighter. She's already had two fights this year. This will be her third. She's on a 2-fight win streak. She KO'd Chelsea Chandler, who we just talked about earlier. Like we said, Chelsea Chandler is a bit of a dog. She's always a scrappy fighter. She also has two losses in her last five, both to people who are on the up and up, Eileen Perez and Nora Cornell. We just saw Nora Cornell lose. Was it last week? I think it was last week. She just fought. So yeah, I mean that one probably didn't age so well, but she also did fight Carol Rosa. Carol Rosa is on the up and up as well. Cachoeira, she's coming off of a win versus Josiana Nunez. She won via uppercut. She also has losses in two of her last five, both to really good fighters, Jasmine Jazavicius and Miranda Maverick, both via submission, however, one by Darce choke and one by armbar. For me, the pick in this fight has to be Jocelyn Edwards. At money line, it's minus 370 currently. Not a super great price, but then again, most of the favorites on this card are pretty juiced, so you're not really going to get that great of odds. So I just say use it as a parlay piece if you just take her money line. So yeah.
If you want me to say my take, I think you take Edwards submission or TKO. I think Edwards is live for submission or possible ground and pound TKO.
Yeah.
Another thing in this fight is Jocelyn Edwards is 29 and Zombie Girl is 36. I believe Edwards is just at a better place in her career.
Yeah, she's definitely getting to the
You
prime, and she's definitely she's definitely proving that she already was a really good striker, but now she's growing into the grappling. She's starting to become a little more well-rounded.
100%.
You know, future title contender potentially. I
Either
see.
way, I see Jocelyn Edwards winning this fight, whether inside the distance or by a gritty decision win.
I
Put your
like it.
money on Jocelyn Edwards.
I like it. Moving on.
I didn't even want to talk about this fight. I didn't even want to touch this fight. In my opinion, I'm gonna be a fucking asshole. I'm gonna be based. I'm tired of watching shit heavyweights. But
They're light heavyweights.
light heavyweights. Um, I think Rafael Sequeira is gonna win by knockout here.
In this fight,
Sequeira,
sorry, go ahead.
Sequeira lost his last two fights by knockout.
Yeah.
I will say that.
Yep.
But I think he needs redemption off that. And, given his knockout power, I think he will be looking for a highlight reel knockout. I mean, he most definitely needs to bounce back. He got finished, like I said, his last two fights. And
Yeah.
I don't see this fight going to distance. If it does go the distance, what I said
Prepare for
fucking 2 minutes
disappointment.
ago, what I said 2 minutes ago is exactly why I feel that way. But like I said, I'm an asshole. I'm based. I could be wrong, but I think the minus 700 on Julius Walker is absolutely insane.
Yeah.
So give me Shakira by KO at plus 850. With a man with that knockout power and his knockout and his prop by knockout is that high, come on now. I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah.
even if it doesn't happen, sprinkle a little bit of money on that.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah. This fight,
that's what I think.
yeah, it's the featured prelim of the night. They think it's gonna be a banger. That's obviously why they put it where it is. These are also two guys who fought back in February. That was both their last fights. Julius Walker, back in February, that was a short notice fight for him as well. Came in, lost a split against Alonzo Metafield. That looked like a bar fight. I remember that fight.
That was in Seattle.
Yep, remember that?
That was in Seattle. Yep. And then
That fight
Shakira.
stunk. I mean, it was great.
Yeah,
It was great for the
yeah.
first round, but then it was like, dude, halfway through the second, they both just gassed, and it was
Yeah,
just
exactly.
whoever had more dog in them.
That's why I'm saying it is insane that Julius Walker is a minus 700 favorite here.
Yeah,
But Rafael Sequeira did get finished in the first round by fucking
Modestus Bukowskis.
Modestas Bukowskis in Seattle.
Yep.
So
Yep. Yeah. The way I see it, he did fight short notice, like I said. He has finishes in all of his wins, though. Julius Walker's not a guy that's going to see the scorecards. It's if he loses, it's because of the scorecards. That's kind of how it looks. He's only had one loss in his career. He's 6-1. Rafael Sequeira, like you said, he has had losses in his last two. Both were TKO. One Ivo Aslan, who we just saw, after his little training camp in Dagestan, come out and look like a snooze fest fighter, not like his crazy self before. And we also saw him lose to Modestas Bukowskis. That was in Seattle as well in February. For me, I think I don't know if I'm playing it safe. I'm taking Julius Walker via TKO. I think when you see streaks of a guy who's been chinned twice in a row, you kind of got to follow the streak there, and who knows how recovered Sequeira's chin is, if it's even there anymore. And until I see otherwise, I think that's the play here is Walker via TKO. On to the next one. Main card opener. We got Eric Anders versus Christian Leroy Duncan. This is another fight that I think is going to be a banger fight. The money's kind of rolling in on a Christian Leroy Duncan KO. It wasn't the favorite leg, but it is damn near even odds. Again, another heavy favorite, so money line's probably not going to be the greatest play here. Christian Leroy Duncan's last win was against Andrei Pulayev, who we just saw fight like 2 weeks ago. He won that fight as well. I think about CLD. He has a lot of crazy good ground and pound, and he also is he's good in the clinch. You know, he likes to work at kickboxing range when he can, but he can also do a lot of damage from the clinch. Um, Eric Anders, on the other hand, he's an older fighter. He's 38. He's 17-8, but he's only been finished twice in his career. He, you know, for a vet, that's pretty good thing to have. He's a durable guy. He has a lot of striking upside. He does have a lot of finishes via TKO. He might be able to steal around here, just given his durability and his striking upside. For me, the pick is CLD via decision. I just see Christian Leroy as the more technical striker, and Anders is just durable. And you know, as time has told us, you know, the guy who's more durable, you know, is probably going to make it to the scorecard, but he might not get finished. I know the money looks good on a Christian Leroy Duncan KO, but I'm saying CLD decision is the method victory and where the money is.
Yep, I agree with that. I mean, I was looking at that as well. Anders hasn't been finished in his whole career, and he's 38.
Yeah, he
And
has been wobbled a few times, but he has
mhm.
not been put away. He's only been put away once, and that was against Thiago Santos. That was quite a while ago, though.
Yeah, you know, another thing as well is the uncles have been winning.
The Unks are back, baby.
The unks have been winning. We
That's
saw
right.
D Rod. We who else fought on that card? We saw D Rod, Michael Johnson.
Oh
Michael
yeah,
Johnson won that card as well.
beat Zell Hooker. That's
Uh,
right.
Neil Magny just won.
Yep.
Um, and all these dudes are damn near close to pushing 40. So I mean, that's another thing to keep in mind as well. But at the end of the day, I think the Unk streak is going to end Saturday night, and I think CLD is going to do it. Uh, I do got my money on a CLD knockout,
That's fair. You know, he beat
but
you on a very short list if he did that.
I do see this fight going to decision as well.
Yeah.
Because, like you said, Eric Anders, he's a real he's a real gritty vet. He's 38. He's been around for a long time. Hasn't been finishing his whole career,
Yep.
but I guess we'll find out.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree. Let's move on here.
This fight, I'm excited for.
This is a good fight
Gene
here.
Gene Matsumoto is a really good prospect. He's a really good young prospect. We saw him fight in Seattle. His only loss
Was in
His
Seattle.
only loss was in Seattle, and that was against Rob Font. Was that a short notice fight? Did Rob Font step in? Uh,
I
I
don't know.
forget,
I'd
but
have to look it up. Um,
but
I almost want to say yes, it was, but I could be wrong.
regardless, though, regardless, at UFC Seattle there was a total of 7 finishes, and that Gene Matsumoto fight versus Rob Font was probably one of the best fights of the night, and Gene Matsumoto lost by decision.
Yeah. Yep. A
Um,
split decision. It came
yeah,
down to that last round. You know, I remember them going to the middle to touch gloves, and Rob Font just greased him and shot a takedown on him, and just rode out a bunch of control time, got some
that
damage.
was that was an insane fight, and I think Gene Matsumoto has just I think he's learned a lot from that fight. You know, especially being how young he is. He's
Yeah,
25
he's a
years
young
old,
guy.
and he's 16-1. Um, how many wins does he have in the UFC? Currently,
Um,
he won on the Contender Series, and he has 2 wins in the UFC. Um, Choked out Dan Argueta in round two, won by decision against Brad Katona,
yep, that's a good win
and
there.
then lost the split decision by Rob Font.
Yep,
Um, I think Gene Matsumoto by decision here.
yep,
Like I said, I think I think he's learned a lot since his loss, you know, in Seattle. Um, but another thing too is Miles Johns just lost to another young prospect too, Felipe Lima.
yep.
So Miles Johns could be coming in here with a little bit of a fucking,
Chip on his
chip on
shoulder.
his shoulder. You know, another young dude coming in here, high level prospect. You know, just like Felipe Lima. I think this will be a real gritty fight. I think this is going to be another type of Rob Font, Gene Matsumoto fight. Um, like I said, I think Gene Matsumoto is going to win by decision here.
Yep.
It's going to be a banger fight, though,
Y-
100%.
Yeah. Both these guys, both of them are off the Dana White Contender Series. Like you said, John's lost to Felipe Lima via unanimous decision. The thing about Johns is he's a pretty durable guy. You know, he's only been finished, I think, twice, 2 or 3 times in his career, and that would be all his losses. He has one by KO, one by sub, and one by decision. That's all Miles Johns' losses. Um, you know, he's a guy who will definitely see the scorecards more often than not. He only has 6 wins by finish and 9 by decision. Gene Matsumoto, kind of the same way. He has like 6 submission wins and a few KO wins. You know, my pick in this fight, I'm keeping it simple, keeping it clean. Over 2.5 rounds is my pick here. Right now, you can get those odds for an over. They're not very great. It'd be a parlay piece for sure. It's minus 350 currently for an over. Under 2.5 is plus 250. You know, it's just having if you get fight goes to the decision, you can get it down to minus 270. So I think that's how this fight's gonna play out here. I mean, it sucks. You know, a lot of these odds aren't the greatest. That's for sure. But there is money to be made. You just gotta put it together the right way, of course. All right, let's move on to the next fight. Got Andre Touchy Feely versus C Rod. Philly, he's another homegrown guy from Washington, just like us. We saw him fight in Seattle as well. That's his last fight. Got choked out in the first round via Gilly
Unfortunately.
to Melt Costa. Yeah, what do we care to talk about? Is he? You know, cost you a lot of money here.
Oh,
Sucks.
I guess so. I mean, I had a. How many fights were on that card?
I think it was a 12 bout card.
I had a 12-leg parlay,
Yeah,
and every single one of them hit. But Andre Philly.
but Andre Feely, that's right.
And
Yeah,
it's crazy too because I had a couple tickets of the prelims. I had Bukowski's. I called Bukowski's KO, Riziboyev KO. I had Vanderford money line. Um, Absor. Dude, I can't say his name. Absor.
Abdul
Who he
Malik,
fought? He fought Nick Klein. Yeah, Abdul Malik.
yeah, Mansour Abdul Malik. Yep.
I had Abdul Malik by KO. The thing is, too, I did not bet Ricky Simone KO. I did have a money line, but then it all came down to Andre Philly, and then Andre Philly got choked out in the first
Ended
round.
up being the only leg that lost on that whole fucking
Only
thing.
leg, the only leg that lost,
Yeah.
and I rode with my boy. I had him on all my tickets, so
Yep. Bites you in the ass sometimes. You know,
that's okay though.
hometown
That's
favorites,
okay.
man. I
That's
get
all
it.
right
Yep.
though.
So yeah, you know, both these guys coming off of a loss. C Rod had a loss to Costa via unanimous decision. He also had a loss in his last 5 to Juliana Rosa by sub, also via the guillotine. Um, I think C
Juliana
Rod.
Rosa is from here too, right?
I think so. I think he's from
Is he from
Spokane.
here?
Spokane or something like
Yeah.
that. He's from Washington for sure. I think I remember that. Um, I think the pick here, it's a little less juicy. It's definitely another parlay piece. You can also probably play it on a decent single if you want. Is C Rod money line? I just think C Rod has more passive victory here. I think his wrestling is a bit more. He'll get on top of you, and it's harder to get you off a kind of deal. You know, he does have submission potential, so there is a chance for a submission here. I see this fight probably playing out to the scorecards. However, Philly is a good striker, and he does also have a bit of a wrestling background. And I think more often than not, we're going to see C-Rod see the scorecards. So that's where I think this goes. But I'm just going to say C-Rod money line is my pick here.
C Rod is also 27, and Philly is 36.
Yeah, he's Unk. He's not Unk. He's getting up there. We won't say Unk
He's
yet.
getting up
You
there.
can't,
He's
you
getting
can't say Unk
close. He's
status
getting
yet,
close.
man.
Yeah, because I mean, Volk's 35, ain't he?
Yeah. Volk is 35 now. All right, let's move on to the next fight. Next fight,
We got Laz,
Is he, yeah,
Jasmine,
Yasmin
Laz is,
Lucindo?
yeah, Lasmin Lucindo versus Angela Hill. I'm going with Lasmin Lucindo. I mean, as much as Angela Hill is just such a dog, like Angela Hill, every time I see her fight, she's improved in some type of way. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, she Angela Hill being 40 years old, she is a phenomenal uh, women's MMA fighter. Uh, but Lasmin Lucindo, I think she's the younger fighter. She's hungrier. She's she's more of a dog than Angela Hill is. I mean, come on. She just fought Amanda Lemos by decision, and Lemos is title contender. I mean, and other than that, she's been killing it. She's been killing it since 2023.
Yeah.
She's Lasmin Lucindo's been winning. She's been clearing out her division,
Yep.
but
Yeah,
I
and she's only 23, man. You know,
exactly, and she's only 23.
yeah,
So I see this fight being a dog fight, though. This is one of the fights that one of the women's MMA fights I could say I'm excited for. I'm not trying to be based or anything, but sometimes there's a little bit of like a skill gap.
yeah. You
I
know,
think this fight is gonna be a banger, though,
yeah.
100%.
It's not too often we get very good card with women's MMA. You know, a lot of them have been kind of snooze fest, but I feel like recently it's been pretty solid. We get another good one on this card. We got Yasmin Lucindo. She's 23, 17 and 6. Um, last fight was a unanimous decision loss versus Amanda Lemos 5 months ago. She's had 11 fights, win by finish, and 3 by sub. So you know she's not somebody who's going to see the scorecards too often. Angela Hill, like you said, she's older. She's 40. She's a vet. She's 18 and 14. Her losses in her last 5 are to Tabitha Ritchie and Mackenzie Dern, both via unanimous decision. She's coming off a win versus Ketlin Souza. She was another young prospect who kind of showed her that she just because she's older does not mean she's going to back down. If she won via split decision, I recall that being a controversial split. But my pick here definitely lies in the younger girl who has more finishes and has proven to be a dog. So Lucindo money line,
Very, very high level
yeah,
young prospect.
yeah. So yeah, I think the pick here is Lucindo. Maybe sprinkle on a Lucindo by sub. You can probably I think you can get sub at let's see what Lucindo by sub is. Lucindo by sub is plus 900. So I think that's gonna be my shot. There would be on a Lucindo sub. All right, moving on to our co-main event. We got
Ooh,
Steve Ursig.
fireworks,
We got Steve Ursig, Astro Boy,
fireworks, fireworks,
versus
fireworks.
Ode Hasborn. Uh, you know, Ursig, he's kind of been getting the short end of the stick lately. He's lost his last 3 in a row. He had his title shot against Alexandre Pantoja. He almost won that. Came down to that 5th round where he decided to wrestle with one of the division's best, probably the division's best, to be honest. Ursek's got clean boxing. He's got great grappling. He is pretty durable for the most part. He obviously got caught with a KO loss to Kai Kara. Kai Kara just fought for the belt after that fight happened. He has proven to be very durable otherwise though. Osborne on the other side, he's a bit older. He's a bit more of a savvy vet. He has been finished in 2 of his last 5 and lost 3 of his last 5. He's coming off of a win versus Luis Garul from ground and pound knockout. Garul was 10-0, so it's a big win for Ode. He's showing he's still around. He's not going to let all these little young guys run around on him.
Odie Osborne looked phenomenal in that fight
it was a good fight for
against.
Ode for sure.
He looked so fast in that fight, dude.
Yeah. Yeah, my pick here, however, is it's definitely on Steve Urseg inside the distance. I think if Astro Boy is going to bounce back, now's the time. He's fighting a guy who's had quite a few finishes against him on his record, and whether it's submission or KO, I'm not sure. I think it would probably be Steve Urseg via KO, But if you can get a double chance, probably take a double chance. Right now, fight doesn't go decisions plus 340. Let's see. Let's see if we can find anything good. Oh wait, no, that's Angela Hill's odds. They don't even have the odds up on here for the. Oh wait, there it is. Let's see. Over 2.5 rounds is plus 120. Under 2.5 is minus 150. Fight doesn't go to decisions, minus 200. It's a good leg there. Both these guys have been finished, so there's potential for finishes. They both, Ode just came off of a finish in his last fight, so there is a potential there. I said Urseg via TKO or sub. Urseg at TKO price is plus 320. Urseg by a sub is a plus 185. So can't go wrong with plus money on either side of the finish. So
Another thing as well is Astro Boy has been fighting the top 5 in his division. His last 3 fights
yeah,
that were all losses.
yeah, Moreno, Pantoja, and Kai Kara. I mean, he's got, like I said, he's been getting the short end of the stick there. He's definitely getting back down, but he's definitely gonna be top 5. He just needs to get back in the win column here.
What I see happening here is Steve Ursek clips him with a right hook, just counters it, counters Odie.
The Mystic Z call here. Okay, I like it.
Steve Ursek by right hand knockout.
Yep. Okay, so you're rocking with an Ursek TKO.
I'm rocking with Ursek KO.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
All right, moving on to the main event of the evening. If you haven't already, make sure you like this video. Leave a comment if you're riding with any of these picks. Leave your thoughts down there. Subscribe, turn your notifications on so you don't miss these shows. We're gonna try and get these out once a week, and then we're also gonna be on TikTok, on Instagram, and on Twitter. You'll be able to catch most of our bets on Twitter or X, whatever. And then TikTok will probably do the same thing. We'll probably just go over the main card on there, get some quick picks on there, and probably throw up, like we're doing right now, like a 1 bet on TikTok for each fight. Anyway, let's get into it. Last fight, main event.
Roman Dolidze versus Anthony Fluffy Hernandez. I like Roman, bro. I really do like Roman. Both these guys got like a really good win streak right now. Anthony Hernandez is coming off of what is that? 6-fight win streak? 7-fight win streak.
Yep.
And Roman Dolidze won his last 3 fights. Won by decision against Smith, KO'd to Kevin Holland, and won by decision against Vettori.
Yeah, that KO was a weird one though. It was
It was a weird one.
It was like a takedown, and they had a weird roll, and Holland, I guess, like had like a rib out or something, and so they ended up just calling the fight because he had a dislocated rib. So yeah, that was kind of weird.
Either way, man, I really like Roman Dolidze. I think Dolidze is too big for Fluffy as well. I think Roman Dolidze is a huge middleweight, and he's a really good, well-rounded fighter. I mean, he has a little bit of skills everywhere. He could grapple, he could strike, he could submit you, he could knock you out. I mean, like I said, he's huge for the division as well. I'm going to be taking Roman Dolidze money line. I think it's sitting at 250. Currently sitting at 250, Roman Dolidze. And I see this possibly happening as well. Give me Roman Dolidze by knockout, plus 500. I think Roman Dolidze can win this fight within the distance.
I like it.
I think another thing as well is Fluffy Hernandez. He has a really good grappling, wrestling background. He could strike as well. But I think if this fight were to get to the ground, Roman Dolidze has more of an advantage, being the heavier dude, being the bigger guy. I don't think Hernandez could hold him down on the ground. Give me Dolidze here.
Yeah, I like it. Like you said, they're both on streaks coming into this. Dolidze's last 3 wins have been against Betz, but he has beat some good guys in the past. Beat Hermanson. He beat Anthony Smith, who's now not in the UFC anymore. We got Fluffy. He's on a 7-fight. He has 4 finishes in his last 5. He has a win over Michel Pereira. That was a 5-round fight. I think that finish was in round 4. Yeah, Fluffy. He has great grappling. He has good striking. Roman Dolidze, like you said, he's just a bigger guy. If Fluffy gets a hold of him, Fluffy's game plan is going to be just to try and wear him out. Get him down, break him down. We know Fluffy likes to play for the sub here. My pick on this fight is the fight not to go the distance. Fight to not go the distance right now is at minus 196, so basically 200 minus 200. Both these guys have a lot of finishing potential, and they'll want to they're going to want to trying to make this a little prove it fight. They want to be able to move up in the rankings, get that top 5 fight, potentially a title fight, a title eliminator, however it goes. I kind of feel the same way. I kind of feel like this has to be dog or pass. Fluffy is on the better streak, but I think Dolidze could be the guy to turn him away. I think if you do think it goes to scorecards, maybe take a Dolidze spread. I think his spread's at plus 5.5. So all he has to do is win you 2 rounds, 2 or 3 rounds, and you're gonna break even there. So yeah, that's it. That's it for that. Solid.
I guess it's time to go over our parlays and our sport bets.
Yeah, let us get over to the whiteboard.
If you guys have any comments or concerns, most definitely add them to the comments. If you want to call me out or call Joe out, make fun of us, please do so. We love the feedback.
Chirp away. We love some good chirping, man. We're, like we said, we're 2 blue collar guys. We work just like y'all. We understand if we, we're not going to lose you money. You're going to lose yourself money, just like we said. We're betting our money. You're betting your money.
You can't hurt my feelings. I've heard worse on the job site.
I've been called worse. That's right. But yeah, let's go over some plays here. I played some earlier today. I got to pull it up on my phone. But if you have yours ready, why don't you go over yours first?
I do have a couple. This is for the early prelims. I got a couple for the early prelims. One of them is, like I said, I am going to take Mechanico money line, and that's currently at plus 140. Another one is Kazama money line plus 370. I like that. And then Hernandez by submission plus 400 for the total odds of plus 5,653. $10 will get you $565. I mean,
it's good money.
That's pretty decent money. But like we said, of course, caution, gamble at your own risk. And if you do, and tail at your own risk, don't tell me. Don't ever tell me. You'll give me bad luck.
That's right. That's right.
I'm just kidding. Tail everything. We'll go to Cancun together.
Yeah, we'll meet in Cancun. For me, I got a 6-leg parlay. It's a prelim ticket. I have Cody Brennan's money line, Gabby Fernandez money line, Jocelyn Edwards money line. It's a bit juicy, taking the money lines. But then we get some good odds here. Over 1.5 in Uros Medic versus Urbina. We got plus 140 on that leg. We got under 1.5 at minus 140 between Smith and Kazama. And we got another juicy one under 1.5 rounds in the Walker Sequeira fight. $10 gets you 137. So it's a bit lean, a bit more lean.
That's
on
not
the
bad.
odds.
That's not bad. Brother, that's groceries.
That's groceries right there.
That's groceries for the week. That's, exactly. That's phone bill.
It's not rent money. We're not betting rent money, but we're betting bill money, man.
We're not there yet.
That's right.
We're just getting started.
Yep.
But that's a little bit of phone bill money and a little donut from 7-Eleven.
The victory donut.
I got a nice one. I think this one is actually kind of nice. If you want to make a quick $300 off of $10. I mean, this is just all the prelims, all the prelims leading up to the main card, and this is just fight going the distance, yes or no. So for the Brundage versus McConaughey fight, I think that fight's gonna go the distance, and the odds aren't currently up, but I will say this: over 1.5 rounds is plus 110. I mean, both these dudes are coming like we talked about. Both these dudes are coming off of late short notice. I think this fight could possibly go over 1.5 rounds, and if it's sitting at plus money, I mean that's pretty nice. But if not, just take the going the distance. I believe that's going to possibly be around like 150 plus 150. But I see that fight going the distance. The Fernandez and Julie fight, nah, I don't see that fight going the
Mm-mm.
distance, and that's currently sitting at minus 250. The Medic and Urbina fight, nah, I don't see that fight going the distance
Got the
either.
violence parlay, man.
But the unfortunate part, that pick is currently sitting at minus 800. So
For that fight not to go the distance.
for that fight not to go the distance.
Oh
So
man,
if you
that's
want to
so.
skip out on that leg, I would, but
You can probably
I
find
mean,
some for better odds. I mean, yeah, that's
you
big.
probably could, but if you just want to do all the early prelims, this is how I think the early prelims are going to go. I think the Smith and the Kazama fight is going to go the distance. I believe that fight will go the distance. I do really agree with you, though. I believe Smith is the more technical fighter.
Hmm.
But I just feel like Kazama, I feel like he's going to outdog him just a little bit.
Yeah, at that
Um,
price you can't beat it.
yeah, so Smith versus Kazama going the distance is plus 300. Um, this is another big. If you want to skip it, fucking skip it. Julius Walker versus a Sakura fight, or Julius Walker versus Sakura. That fight not going the distance is sitting at 1100 minus 1100. So that's
Jeez,
another like,
dude.
yeah, yeah, that's really ugly. But if you match these all up, plus Jocelyn Edwards and Zombie Girl, I believe I had that fight not going the distance. Let me double check here. Yes, fight not going the distance is currently at plus 120, and I think Jocelyn Edwards is live for the finish here. If you match all those up, you're currently sitting at plus 3,000 odds. $10 get you $300.
That's a good one. Yeah, my main card. I got main card ticket here. I got CLD. I got him on a minus 3.5 spread. It's minus 200 leg. It's whatever. Gene Matsumoto even money on a minus 3.5 spread. Andre Feely, I got him on plus spread plus 3.5 minus 140. Angela Hill on a plus spread minus 200. Steve Urseg minus 3.5 minus 280. So they definitely see a finish happening there where him dominate to a 3 round 30-27. And then on the last leg, I got the fight not to go the distance at minus 185. So $10 wins you 148 and some change.
Nice, nice.
Yeah.
For my main card parlay, I believe this is a lock. I believe
they're
this
all
is
they're
the
always locked.
three.
See, God,
They're always
jinx it, don't
locks,
jinx it.
but I have very high confidence in this three-legger. It's a three-legger. Leg number one, Gene Matsumoto to win by decision. Leg number two, Astro Boy by KO. And leg number three, you can either do one or the other, whatever you feel most comfortable with. Roman Dolidze money line or Roman Dolidze by KO, TKO. And if you pick the KO with the Astro Boy KO and Gene Matsumoto decision, you're currently looking at plus 4,700 odds $10 will get you $470.
It's a nice long shot right there.
I like that. I like that a
It's
lot.
short and sweet, 3 legs.
I think exactly. I think it's a pretty solid three-legger. Um, and another thing too that I wanted to add, if any of you are watching in Washington, um, one of the unfortunate things is Joe lives up in uh, northern area. If you want to get the spreads, go to Tulalip. Go to
Tulalip
Tulalip Casino.
or
Tulalip
Quilceda.
Casino, yeah, or Quisita. But any of those casinos up in the northern area of Washington, closer to Canada, will have a lot more uh, betting picks than a lot of the casinos down here in the southern area because I'm based around Puyallup. Um, like I go to Muckleshoot, EQC, but most of those casinos they don't really have a whole lot of bets. But
Yeah,
if you go to the
yeah.
casinos up north,
You get
they got the
DraftKings.
spreads. Yep, they got the
DraftKings is a
spreads,
sports book there.
takedowns. Yep,
Yep.
you
Uh,
got like Bet MGM and Caesars,
yeah,
Caesars at Muckleshoot.
yeah. But for some reason they don't have the spreads there, which I think is just absurd.
Damn,
Um,
I almost gave out your location.
you're about to get me doxxed, man.
This is his home
Yeah,
address.
here he is right here. Look him up. Uh, here's my cycle parlay. Shout out Matty Betz. He kind of.
You're telling Matty Betts.
No, I'm just giving him credit
I
for
was about
making
to
the cycle
say
parlay. Because it is kind of he
we
kind of
don't
did make that a thing.
we don't
Uh,
tell that guy.
uh, we used to, but I think now we're kind of growing a little more independent, and we're kind
Just
of.
kidding. Shout out Matty Betts.
Yeah, he's cooked up some good ones. We're betting with chump change compared to that guy, and there's a reason
He's
for
my
it.
inspiration. I
He
want to be
yeah
like Matty Betts.
he makes a lot of money and he bets a lot of money. That's kind of
I
the
want to bet
dream.
a lot of money.
I want to win a lot of money too.
I want to bet my checks.
So my first leg here is CLD by KO. I know earlier I said decision, but just for the odds, I'm taking plus money on a KO here for Christian Leroy. My second leg is a Gene Matsumoto by submission.
Okay, okay,
Be, be,
okay.
you know,
Okay, by
I think a
submission.
Matsumoto sub is possible. He's coming off of a loss to a vet. He needs a bounce back win. I think Miles Johns is a good spot for him to get a win and show that he's still here and still a contender. And then my decision leg is Yasmin Lucindo by decision. So
I like that.
those 3 legs plus 25.80. I bet 5 on. I bet half a unit wins you 134 and some change.
Okay, okay.
And then
So, so hold on to backtrack there for a second. When
mhm,
you say units, is that how we were gonna do it? So one unit is $10.
I think it's good base. It's easy math.
I think that's a good base for now.
Yeah.
100%. So for any of you watching, then exactly what Joe was saying. Zero point 0.5 units is $5.
Hmm.
1 unit is
Is 10.
$10. So if you ever see us saying like 8 units, that's $80. 5 units, 50.
Yep.
1 unit, 10.
Yeah.
Point two, $2.
Yeah, yeah, that's right. So the point of unit betting is to kind of help you track and also conserve your bankroll. You shouldn't ever bet any more than like 3 to 5% of your bankroll. So think of it like $100 as your bankroll, right? $10 is 10%. So technically, you wouldn't even want to bet that much. So like, say your bankroll is 1,000, then $10 is a little more in that range of where you want to be because you're not going to burn it out in one card. You're going to be playing it safe. So bet bet
100%.
bet bet whatever you're comfortable betting and whatever you're comfortable losing. Because there are going to be cards where you just get absolutely wiped, and there's going to be cards where you do just great. We're not guys who really ever bet singles. We like to bet parlays. So if you want to tail us, just know that we're not really ever going to bet singles. But if you do feel comfortable taking singles, just take them out of any of our legs because a lot of the time it comes down to one leg, and one leg will fuck us. But we'll win a lot more often than not on these on some of these picks.
Yep.
Especially
Yep.
in the long run, you're going to win a lot more money being profitable. You're going to be a lot more profitable on parlays than you will on singles. As far as like quick cash. Longevity wise, though, singles is definitely the move. But we're not really here for the longevity. We're here for the quick grab.
Yep.
Anyway, moving on to the next parlay. I got a dog parlay for you, Z. I got a 3-leg parlay here. 3 dogs that I like a lot. Starting with Gilbert Urbina versus Uros Medic. That fight I was talking about. I didn't feel comfortable taking Medic money line. I know I took in the prelim ticket, but this is a good backup here. And
Yep.
then I took the veteran Angela Hill because she's 40 years old, but
She's a dog.
she's a
She's a
dog.
dog.
And like I said, she's turning back some of these younger gals. So I think she can
Oh
hang.
yeah.
If it gets to the scorecards, I think she has a good chance there. And then my last one is Roman Dolidze.
I like it.
Yup.
I like it.
Three-legger here, plus 3,800 odds, $5. So half a unit is 196 and some change. And that's it. That's it for what I got right now. There wasn't really anything good worth grabbing because a lot of these favorites are pretty juiced. So I think the spots here are pretty limited.
Yeah. Yeah. I feel like at the end of the day though, this is our warm up video. I mean, for those of you who stuck around and actually watched till the end and you're still watching, we appreciate you. We really do. I most definitely appreciate you. I'm sure Joe loves
I
you.
appreciate you guys too.
Um, I'll buy you a six pack. You know, buy you a six pack for sure. But anyways, um, what was I about to say, dude? Um, I literally had it on the tip of my tongue, but
Do we want to show them the versus screen?
we can
Okay.
in just a second.
Okay. Okay.
Oh, like I said, this is just the warm up video. We plan to do another video for next week. Next week is UFC 319, Dragons Duplessis versus Hamzat. I'm really excited for that.
Oh yeah.
Really excited for that fight.
Yeah.
I
Pay
think
per
that
views are
whole
always
fight
something else,
card.
man. Pay per views
Oh
are
yeah,
always yeah.
I think that whole card is pretty stacked. Not crazy stacked, but I think there's some really good matchups on that card. One thing that we like to do here is the copper bonus parlay. So we
Mm,
did this the first time during International Fight Week, and we took Joshua Van money line and Gregory Rodriguez money line. And pretty much what the copper parlay is I take a bunch of scrap parlay from work. I
scrap
don't
parlay.
steal.
Scrap
I
copper.
don't steal.
He
I
borrows.
don't steal.
He borrows it.
I borrow and I go and scrap it on my own accord. But whatever sum I have at the end of the month or whatever time period there is leading from the last one to the next one is that amount that I have collected. We go and we scrap it. We collect the cash afterwards, and we throw it on either a three-legger or a two-leg parlay. And like I said, the first leg, the first two-legger was Joshua Van and Gregory Rodriguez. We ended up putting 130 bucks on it, cash that out for about $310. The next one we had gotten was $150 on a three-leg parlay, and unfortunately, we had Kevin Holland against D Rod. We had Daniel Zellhuber against Michael Johnson, and we had I forget Roman Kopylov. We had Roman Kopylov against Paulo Costa.
All those guys are fighting with their
Unfortunately,
toes.
unfortunately, all three legs lost.
Mm,
And that was the last copper leg. But we plan on having a nice, juicy three-legger for UFC 319. So stay tuned for that. We're probably looking at about a $200 parlay for 319. And what we're going to start doing is if it wins, me and Joe splits it.
maybe we do a little giveaway with some of these guys as well.
Oh, yeah, maybe we do a little giveaway. So,
Maybe down the road, if you give this video some love, repost, tag us.
yep, yep.
Maybe
That's
we'll
most
get a
definitely
little something for
something
you boys.
I wouldn't mind doing that. Doing a little bit of a giveaway, because at the end of the day though, we do this because we love this sport. I mean, There's football, there's boxing, there's soccer, there's baseball. But at the end of the day, we love fights. We love fighting, and we love MMA, and we love, especially love the UFC.
Yeah.
So, as much as we love gambling too, we do this for the fight game.
Yeah, we're a fan. We're a
100%.
fan, just like everyone watching this.
Yep. So,
And the little game we play at the end of these shows is a versus. So it's whoever can rack up more points in the main event or the main card. So this top row is me, the bottom row is Z, and we just both just
one
quick pick our picks.
One thing we'll do as well is if you haven't already, please go ahead and follow us on Instagram. We also do a lot of polls on our Instagram, or we will be doing a lot of polls on our Instagram for fight nights and for pay-per-views, where we post the entire card plus the main card, and you pretty much just choose who you think is going to win. And at the end of the week, come Sunday, we will post our results along with the majority of the followers that participated in the polls.
Yeah, so it's us versus you and versus each other.
Pretty much. Pretty much.
All right, first fight. Eric Anders versus CLD. I got CLD.
I got CLD, bro.
All right. Miles Johns versus Gene Matsumoto. I got Matsumoto.
You know, you're probably like, what the hell is he doing?
He's trying to get a leg up on me.
I'm picking Miles
Oh,
Johns.
fuck.
I'm picking Miles Johns. I'm not going to get into it. I'm picking Miles Johns.
Very valid, very valid. Andre Fili versus Christian Rodriguez. I got Christian Rodriguez.
I got Philly, bro. I got Philly. And I'm just going to say this real quick. I'm pretty sure Philly just had a kid. He got
Did he
got
really?
that. Yeah, he needs that comeback, bro.
does. He needs it
Philly
bad.
needs that
He needs it
comeback.
bad.
Yeah, he needs it bad. I got Philly on this.
Very valid, very valid. He's gonna have that dad strength, man.
Oh yeah.
Okay, next one. We got Lucindo versus Angela Hill. Fuck. See, this is
I got
the one,
Lucindo.
This is the one I'm about to like flip a coin or something, dude.
I got Lucindo. Lucindo's a dog, bro. 23 years old. She's a dog.
Just to make sure you don't catch too many points on me. I will say Lucindo as well.
Yeah.
All right, Steve Urseg versus Ode Osborne. I got Urseg. I need to see my boy Astro Boy get a bounce back and get back in the win column. And
I got
keep
Ode
climbing the
Osborne.
ranks. Wait. Okay. All right. Roman Dolidze versus Anthony Hernandez. Mr. Fluffy.
No, I take that back. I got Astro Boy. I got Astro Boy. I got Astro Boy all the way. Astro Boy. Roman Dolidze.
I got Dolidze as well.
Roman Dolidze. I think Roman Dolidze takes it home with inside the distance.
So yeah, make sure you guys go to our Instagram and vote. And then, like I said, on Sunday we'll post the results and see where everyone stacks up with their picks versus our picks.
Yeah, we really appreciate you guys sticking around and watching. If you have, if you skip through this as well, I don't blame you, brother. I don't blame you.
Now I'm like
But
watching some guys yap.
as long as you're here, as on the video, that's what matters to us. But if you haven't already, go ahead and like the video, give us a subscribe, follow us on our platforms for more content like this. We are really going to start pumping out a lot more content. Yeah, I think that's everything.
Yeah, that concludes the Cozy Show.
That concludes our first episode of the Cozy Show.
We hope you guys make some money this week. Feel free to tag us on socials if you do tail us, and we will repost it.
Yes, sir.
With that being said, have a good one. Stay cozy. We'll see you on the next one.
Stay cozy.
Peace.